So today we are going to do MCQs paper for O levels accounting and for IGCSE accounting 0452 and O levels 7707. And this paper has come in February, March 2024, 1-2. But you remember that in O levels, we don't have February, March variant. We have February, March variant only in IGCSE. So we are going to solve that February, March paper of 2024. 1 hour, 15 minutes is the time. There is only one variant of 1-2. And paper 1 is of multiple choice. 35 MCQs will be there. And we have to solve all the MCQs. Let's start doing the first one. So which statement about bookkeeping and accounting are correct? Which statement about bookkeeping and accounting are correct? Accounting is performed periodically rather than daily. Accounting uses information kept in the bookkeeping records. Bookkeeping includes the preparation of financial statement. Bookkeeping involves the recording of financial transactions. So the answer is A, 1, 2, and 4. That accounting is performed periodically rather than daily. We used to prepare financial statements at the end of the year, after every single accounting period. And accounting uses information kept in the bookkeeping records. Obviously, we use the bookkeeping records for the preparation of financial statements. And bookkeeping includes the preparation of financial statement. That is wrong. Accounting starts from the preparation of financial statement. So 1, 2, and 4 is the answer. So A is going to be the answer for this question. A is going to be the answer for this question. 1, 2, and 4. So bookkeeping involves the recording of financial transactions. The one statement is correct for accounting. That accounting is performed periodically. It's not related with bookkeeping, but it is still correct. Next. Amarjeet had the following closing balances in his books at the end of the year. If anyone of you is going to find this paper simple and easy, so remember that for this paper, we have A out of 35, you need to get 29 marks to get an A. And normally we have A star at 28 or 29. But here in this paper, we have 29 at, if you are getting 29 out of 35, you will get an A. So this is very important that the grade threshold is high for this paper, which has come. But if we talk about our O levels paper, the grade threshold will remain the same. That is around 60% in P2. And for 23, it will be A for P1. Because in February, March, O-level students, they don't appear in the paper. So there are only IGCSE students. That is also a reason that the grade threshold is little high. So what is the capital at the end of the year? Asset minus liabilities, non-current asset 25,000. Calculator, you should have the calculator with you. 11,000 you will add. Then minus bank overdraft and other payable is also current liability. That will also be subtracted. So 36,000 minus 3,000, 33,000 minus 600, 32,400. C is the answer. On 31st December, Manjeet was owed commission. How would this commission be shown in Manjeet's statement of financial position? Okay, ji? Manjeet owed commission means Manjeet was owed commission. Means the commission, he is supposed to receive commission. He owed commission, nahi. Manjeet was owed commission by someone. So an accrued income in current asset, an accrued income in current liability, as prepaid income in current asset, as prepaid income in current liabilities. Yes, please. A is the answer. That is correct. An accrued income in current asset. Because this is the accrued income means income earned but not received. Income still receivable. Outstanding income. Income owing. So that is your current asset. C can never be the answer because prepaid income is current liability. That is unearned income. So A is the answer. Accrued income is in current asset. SEMI maintains a full set of accounting record. Why does SEMI find it useful to complete the check counterfile when he pays a credit supplier by check? Why does SEMI find it useful to complete the check counterfile when he pays a credit supplier by check? When you are making the payment to someone by check, you write the name of that person with the amount in check counterfile so that you may be able to see to whom the payment is made after the payment, after 3-4 months, whatever. It enables him to keep the purchase account up to date. No, it helps in preparing the bank reconciliation statement. It is a source of information for maintaining the cash book, it is proof that he has paid the correct amount. Yes. What is the answer? So it is a source of information for maintaining the cash book. Check counter file. Check counter file can never be used for the preparation of bank reconciliation statement. Check counter file will not be used for the preparation of bank reconciliation statement. A is not the answer. It is a source of information for maintaining the cash book. That is also wrong. Because for maintaining the cash book, we used to see payments through the bank, but check counter file is a document which is used over there. So I believe that we are going to have an. So C is the answer. Why not D? Because it is a proof that he has paid the correct amount. That is not the only thing. It is a proof that he has made the payment. Amount can be wrong. He has made the payment to this person. That is going to be proved only for this. Correct amount is not necessary. So it is a source of information for maintaining the cash book. Why? Because through check counter file, you will be able to see that payment has been made through check, through bank. You can see source of information for maintaining the cash book. Next, Paul rents premises from John and pays the rent by credit transfer. How would John record this? Paul rents premises from John and pays the rent by credit transfer. How would John record this? Bank to rental. Bank to rental income. A is the right answer because for him it is income. And because he is getting the amount by credit transfer, the amount is given, coming in the bank to rental income. A business sold goods with a list price of 50. The terms of trade were as follows. Trade discount when more than 20 items are purchased, 10%. Cash discount if customer pays within 30 days, 4%. How much was received in full settlement from a customer who bought 25 items and paid after 35 days? It means if someone is paying after 35 days, he will not be able to receive the 4% cash discount. Only trade discount will be there. Who bought 25 items, so 25 into, you can subtract the discount in the first instance from list price also or afterwards also. It's up to you. So 25 into 50, how much will get? 1250. And out of 1250, you will subtract trade discount of 10%. 125. So 1125 is going to be the answer. So C is the answer because there will be no cash discount. What is the name given? Trade discount will not be shown, so it will be subtracted. What is the name given to a list of ledger balances on a particular date? That is trial balance. Trial balance is a list of ledger balances on a particular date, right? Yeah. It shows that total debits are always equal to total credit. It also checks the arithmetic accuracy of the ledger balances. A trader introduced additional capital 4,000. This was debited to the capital account and credited to the bank account in error. What is the effect on the statement of financial position of correcting this error? So the entry was bank to capital, but instead of this was debited to capital and credited to bank, we have gone for the reverse entry. So now what we are going to do, we will pass the correct entry, bank debit and capital credit with double amount, with 8,000. Right? So bank will be debited. So bank will be debited, increase by 8,000 and capital will increase by 8,000. So D is the answer. Increase, both increase, bank increase and capital will also increase.
अहमद तो घर सर के घर ही घुस गया.
G. Total of a trial balance did not agree and a suspense account was opened. It was later found that the purchase return 560 had been debited to sales return account. If you are not able to pass the entry, you won't be able to handle it properly. So trial balance does not agree and a suspense account was opened. So go for the entry. You have to credit purchase return, but instead of crediting purchase return, you have debit sales return. Okay. You were crediting purchase return, but you have debit sales return. Now, what is the sales return is wrongly debited? It will be credited. Purchase return is not recorded. That will be credited on the credit side, written on the credit side, and suspense is going to be debited. So suspense to purchase return to sales return. So D is the answer. Suspense to purchase return and sales return. G. Next, a trader has received her bank statement What does she need to record when she is updating her cash book? A trader has received her bank statement. What does she need to record when she is updating her cash book? Any cash book mein, what will come in the cash book? A credit transfer. A credit transfer. Bank error is the error of bank. It will come in BRS. Uncredited deposit also will come in BRS. Bank statement balance will also come in BRS. So B is the answer. A credit transfer is going to be the answer for this part. Next, Colin's cash book showed a debit balance of 2134 in the bank column. When Colin compared his cash book with his bank statement, he discovered the following: standing order paid in error by the bank, unpresented checks, uncredited checks. What was the closing balance shown on his bank statement? Right? So cash book is already given, showed a debit balance of 2134. So when there is debit balance, not presented will be added and not credited will be subtracted. So 563 in 2134, 563, we will add 563 and we will subtract 376. And standing order paid in error by the bank. A standing order, a payment. Bank has paid that error. Bank has debited it wrongly. Now you have to give it a credit. Credit means it is not yet credited. So that is uncredited checks. That is also subtracted. Then you will get the answer. So how I'm going to calculate it, I will repeat again. 2134 plus 563 minus 376 and minus 80, you will get the answer. And the answer is going to be credit, because if there is cash book debit, we have to go for a bank statement credit. So the answer is going to be how much? 2027 C, 2241 credit. So C is the answer. 2241 credit. मैं repeat कर रहा हूँ. A standing order paid in error by the bank. Standing order is a payment. It comes on the credit side of cash book and debit side of bank. So we have debited bank wrongly. Now we have to give it a credit. Credit means it is not yet credited. So it will become uncredited deposit. So we'll give the same effect as we used to do with uncredited checks. We will subtract it. What is not a reason for preparing a monthly sale ledger control account? What is not a reason for preparing a monthly sale ledger control account? To carry out a check of each entry recorded in the trade receivables account in the sale ledger. That is true. To reduce fraud as the control account is completed by someone who has not been involved in writing up the sale ledger. That is also true. To prove that the entries made in the sale ledger are arithmetically correct. To prove a summary of the trade receivable transaction during the month. So what is not a reason for preparing a monthly sale ledger control account? Yes, please. C is the answer, because we know that error of commission and error of principal, or if we have gone for the same amount, we can't be able to find the error. So C is the answer. To provide a summary of trade receivable transaction during the month. That is true, because in sale ledger control account, you record all the transactions relating to all the trade receivables. It's a total trade receivable account. So C is the answer, because arithmetically correct is not necessary. A sale ledger control account had a debit balance. It was found that a 2000 contra entry to the purchase ledger control account had been entered on the wrong side of sale ledger control account. What was the corrected debit balance on the sale ledger control account? So contra entry comes on the credit side of SLCs. We have debited it. Now we have to give a credit with the double amount, 4,000. So 10,000 minus 4,000, 6,000 is going to be the answer. So 6,000 will be the answer for this. A business bought two assets X and Y for 2,000 each. It depreciates asset X by 10% per annum using the straight line method, and asset Y by 10% per annum using the reducing balance method. Which statement are correct? Asset X will be fully depreciated before assets Y. Before asset Y. In 2022, the depreciation charge is lower for asset X than for asset Y. So one thing is important, that with straight line method, depreciation charge will be the same either by reducing balance method or by straight line method. So in 2022, because this year we have purchased the asset this year the both for either you use straight line method or reducing balance method, the depreciation charge will be the same. There will be no change because in the first year, both methods will give you the same depreciation of 200. So that is basically false for the second part. And for A part, asset X will be fully depreciated before asset Y. That is true. That with straight line method, your assets will be fully depreciated because straight line method, you will subtract the depreciation with the constant value. So that will depreciate and the time will come that with the end of the useful life, the value will become 0. So that is true. So C is the answer. True and false. After the preparation of his financial statement, a trader discovered the following errors. A revenue receipt of 1,000 has been recorded as a capital receipt. Capital expenditure of 800 has been recorded as a revenue expenditure. A capital receipt of 900 has been recorded as a revenue receipt. What was the overall effect of these errors on the profit for the year? He is not asking you for the correction of profit. He is asking that what is the effect of the error on the profit. When you will record revenue receipt 1,000 as recorded as a capital receipt, so profit will decrease by 1,000 and capital expenditure will be recorded as revenue expenditure. Again, with 800, profit will decrease by 800 because of that error. 1,000 decrease, 800 decrease, and capital receipt has been recorded as a revenue receipt. That because of that, profit will increase because you have recorded as a revenue receipt as an income. It will increase by 900. So it will decrease with the total of 1,800 and increase by 900. So decrease understated by 900 is the answer. So D is the answer. The profit will be understated by 900. So this was a good question because revenue receipt means income, revenue income, and capital receipt will not affect profit at all. Revenue receipt of 1,000 means revenue income has been recorded as a capital receipt. It means that you have not recorded 1,000 in income. So profit will decrease by 1,000. Again, you have recorded it 800 as expense rather than as an asset. So if you recorded expense, again, profit will decrease by 800. And so 1,800 profit will decrease. And with 900, you have recorded 900 as revenue income, profit will increase. Overall, profit will be understated by 900. So D is the answer for this question. So rent receivable account, ledger account is given. And if you just look at, this is received in advance, brought down is received in advance. Bank figure, income statement and balance carried down is also given over here. What does the balance of 300 on 31st December represent? What does it represent? This balance? Income. Accrued income. This is known as accrued income. Income earned but not received. This is accrued income, outstanding income. So A is the answer for this. A business maintains a provision for doubtful debt of 5% of trade receivable. The balance on the provision for doubtful debt account on 31st December was 2,700. On 31st December, the trade receivables amounting to 50,000. Calculate 50,000 into 5%. 2,500. So our provision for doubtful debt at the start is 2,700, but our provision for doubtful debt at the end is 2,500. So we need to decrease the provision by 200, and the provision will decrease. The entry will be provision for doubtful debt debit and income statement credit. Provision to income statement, you need to decrease the provision by 200. So what we are going to do now, it will be added in gross profit with 200 and provision for doubtful debt will be debited by 200. C is the answer. Absolutely right. So unless you will not knowing the entry, you will find problem in MCQs. So मैं तो obviously from the very scratch हमेशा यही बताया है कि entries are the most important thing. Which asset is valued at the lower of cost and net realizable value? That is inventory, because goodwill is an intangible non-current asset. Loose tools is basically used for under materiality concept. We use revaluation method of depreciation for that. Machinery is a non-current asset, tangible. So inventory is basically recorded at cost lower of cost, and net realizable value, whichever is less. Next is Vikram made 2 errors when preparing his draft financial statement. These caused his gross profit to be overstated by 600 and his profit for the year to be understated by 250. Which 2 errors had he made? Which 2 errors had he made? Made 2 errors. These because of the error, these caused his gross profit to be overstated by 600. Gross profit has overstated by 600. So if closing inventory is understated by 600, cost of sale will increase and gross profit will decrease. So gross profit will decrease by 600 because of the closing inventory if it is understated by 600. And his profit for the year to be understated by 250, it means that depreciation charge is understated by 250 plus 600, 850 understated. Because gross profit, which 2 errors had he made? So because of the inventory is going to be, gross profit is going to be, the gross profit will be overstated by 600 because of closing inventory, and profit to be understated by 250. Okay. Profit to be understated by 250. So depreciation charge is overstated by 850. So that is the answer. So B. Closing inventory, if you overstate the closing inventory, overstate the closing inventory, cost of sale will decrease and gross profit will be overstated. B is going to be the answer for this. Yes, B is the answer. That's right. 600 overstated and 850 overstated. I repeat again because this is going to be a little difficult MCQs. C. When gross profit will be overstated by 600, if you will write more amount of closing inventory, additional amount of closing inventory by 600, or closing inventory is overstated by 600, cost of sale will decrease and GP will be overstated by 600. That's fine. Now let's talk about profit. If depreciation charge is increased by 250 and gross profit will also overstated by 600 because of this, so both the amount will be added. So 850, you will charge depreciation more than by 850, then your profit for the year will be understated by 250. Okay. What is not a service business? A computer repair shop, a furniture factory, a hairdressing salon, a travel agent. What is not a service business? Computer repair shop, furniture factory, hairdressing salon, travel agent. C is the answer. That is wrong. A furniture factory is not a service business because computer repair shop is also service business, hairdressing salon is also service business, travel agent is also service business. Furniture factory is not a service business. Why? Because we are selling and purchasing furniture. So that is not a service business. That is going to be selling and purchasing of furniture. Simon bought a new non-current asset. Why did he decide to use the reducing balance method to depreciate it? The non-current asset will be subject to rapid technological change. That's true. Yahi answer hai. Why? Because when there is technological changes, the value of the asset will decrease more in early years and less in later years. And that is why we use the reducing balance method. The non-current asset will lose value faster in the later years. No, faster in the early years. The benefits from using the non-current asset will be lower in early years. No, higher in early years. The cash set aside to replace the non-current asset will increase quickly. That has nothing to do with depreciation at all. So which statement about a statement of financial position is correct? It is a part of the double entry system. It proves that thematic accuracy of the accounts. It shows income and expense for a certain period of time. It shows the assets and liabilities on a certain date. Tell me which statement about a statement of financial position are correct? Can you please tell me? D is the answer. It shows the assets and liabilities on a certain date. The owner of a business took goods for his own use, but forgot to make an entry in the accounts. What was the effect of this error? The entry to record is drawing to purchases. The entry is going to be drawings to purchases, right? Drawings debit, purchases credit. So what will happen when we will not record drawings? The capital, the purchases, it will not be subtracted from purchases. So what will happen? Purchases will be more, cost of sale will increase, and profit will decrease. The profit for the year will be understated. But if we talk about capital, then capital, there will be no effect. This is the most important MCQs the student used to do wrong actually. So let me make you understand. When you will record purchases, you will not subtract drawings, goods drawing from purchases. Purchases will be higher. Purchases will be higher, and cost of sales will be higher, and profit will be understated. Now profit is short by that amount, and we are not subtracted that amount of drawings from capital also. So capital will increase by that amount. Profit is understated and capital is basically increased by that amount. So overall, there will be no effect. Why, sir? Because an amount of drawings is not subtracted from capital, and profit is also reduced by that amount. So capital will remain the same, and that is the reason there will be no effect on the capital amount. I repeat again, आपने परचेजेस में से ये गुड्स ड्राइंग माइनस करनी थी, आपने नहीं माइनस की, परचेजेस ज्यादा हो गई, जिसकी वजह से कॉस्ट ऑफ सेल ज्यादा हो गई, प्रॉफिट कम हो गया. अब वो जो प्रॉफिट कम है वो कैपिटल में ही ऐड होना है ना जाके, इसका मतलब है कैपिटल भी कम हो गया. लेकिन आपने कैपिटल में से ड्राइंग्स माइनस करनी थी, लेकिन आपने कैपिटल में से ड्राइंग माइनस नहीं की, तो कैपिटल उतने से क्या हो गया, दोबारा ज्यादा शो हो गया. तो कैपिटल पर बेसिकली उसका इफेक्ट नहीं हुआ. सो नो इफेक्ट ऑन कैपिटल. व्हाट आर द एडवांटेजेस ऑफ ए सोल ट्रेडर? What are the advantages to a sole trader of forming a partnership? All partners would be entitled to drawings and dividends. No. Profit would be shared with partners. The partners may bring additional skills and experience. The partner would share responsibility for running the business. Right. 3 and 4 is the answer. D is the answer. X, Y, and Z are sharing profit in the ratio of 5:3:2. Their business made a profit for the year of 8,000. They provide the following information. What was the Z share of residual profit? It's quite easy, beta. Partner's salary, interest on capital, interest on drawing is given. Profit for the year is also given, 8,000. Add interest on drawing, less salary, less interest on capital. You will get the answer, and then you can divide it. I can do that also. 8,000 minus add 150 and minus 1,500 and minus 1,000. You will get the answer, and then you can find the share of profit of Z. What can cause an increase in total equity of a company? How equity will increase? A profit for the year? Yes. A receipt of a bank loan? No. A transfer to general reserve? No. An issue of share? Yes. Total equity will increase. So 1 and 4 is the answer. A is the answer. What is called up share capital? The amount received by the company for issued share. The amount requested from shareholders by the company. The value of shares the company could issue. The value of share actually issued by the company. So called up capital is the amount requested from shareholders by the company. But when they make the payment to the company, it becomes value of share actually issued by the company. But right now, called up capital is the amount requested from shareholder by the company. So B is the answer. A tennis club is given. What is the amount of subscription included in the income and expenditure account? You will prepare the income account and you will be able to find it quite easily. Income account you will prepare, you will be able to find the answer easily. Which cost of a manufacturing business are indirect cost? Heating and lighting of the factory, yes. Raw material, no. Rent and rates, yes. Wages of employees who make the product, no. 1 and 3 is going to be the factory overheads. So 1 and 3 factory overhead is the answer. What is the cost of production? Very easy. Prime cost plus factory overheads plus work in progress opening less work in progress closing. You will get the answer of cost of production. What was his profit for the year? Can anybody tell me how to calculate profit?
Gross profit minus expenses.
No.
अच्छा ये वाला working capital.
First of all, you have to find opening capital and then ending capital.
Yes. So working
The formula for finding profit in statement of affair in incomplete record, what is the formula?
opening asset minus closing asset minus
No. What is the formula? Capital, closing capital plus drawings minus opening capital or minus additional capital if any. So closing capital 60,000 plus 7,500. Working capital is given and 6,500 will also be given. Let me calculate it for you because that is little difficult. You will not use current assets. Why, sir? Because we have not been given current liability. So problem is this, you have to use working capital over here. So non-current assets plus working capital. Current asset minus current liabilities. 60,000 plus 4,500 minus 6,500. You will get the ending capital. That is 58,000. Then for the other, that is 45,000 plus 6,000 and minus 4,000. So that is going to be 47,000. So 58,000,
11,000
plus 3,500 plus 3,500. Closing capital, capital at the end 58,000 plus drawings 3,500 minus opening capital.
58,000 plus
D answer है 14,500. 14,500 is going to be the answer. So 14,500 is going to be the answer for this. आगे next देखते हैं जी हम. A trader provide the following information. What was the rate of inventory turnover? It's quite easy. Cost of sales divided by average inventory. The cost of sale is 8,000 plus 1 lakh 8,000 minus 16,000. 1 lakh is cost of sales. Divided by average inventory is going to be how much? 8,000 opening 12, plus closing. 12,000. Divide by 2. 12,000. So 1 lakh divided by 1 lakh divided by 12,000. Divided by 12,000. 8.33 times. C is the answer. So 8.33 times is the answer. A limited company has invited potential investors to purchase shares in the business. Which information would be interested to a potential investor? The amount that they would pay for the share, the expected future profit of the business. दोनों yes है. Expected rate of dividend that the business might pay. Yes. When the limited company will pay back the money invested. No, that is not important.
1, 2, 3.
So 1, 2, and 3 is the answer. A is the answer. Why would a bakery business not include a value for inventory of stationery in the statement of financial position? Because the stationery they are going to purchase, that it will be as an expense, because that is not going to be used for more than 1 year. Stationery is a type of a asset which bakery used to use for consumption. It was to be used in the next few months. It was purchased regularly and paid for in cash. It was new and unused. It was of very low value.
Purchase regularly.
It's quite interesting, but easy.
D.
The answer will be D. No, Ahmed. The answer is going to be D. It was of very low value. Listen, for bakery, stationery means copies, books, pencils, pens,
Paper.
so paper. So that is not of a very common use for them.
Because
So
they will record it and then they
so he will
show
record
us.
it as an expense. Yes, it was of a very low value. That's why they will use it as an expense rather than as an asset. A trader decided to write off the balance owed by credit transfer as an irrecoverable debt. A credit entry is made in the account of credit customer and a debit entry is in the irrecoverable debt account. यानी bad debts to trade receivable आपने entry pass की है. Which accounting principle are being applied? Materiality and prudence, duality and prudence, consistency and materiality, business and relation कौन सा होगा? Anyone who can tell me?
Prudence.
G, exactly. The answer is basically duality and prudence. Duality is because the dual aspect concept is placed. Bad debts debit and trade receivable credit. Irrecoverable debt debit, trade receivable credit. And prudence is always applied on bad debts and provision for doubtful debt. So this is how we have completed the paper. So if you have any question, you can ask. Somebody has asked me the 21 MCQs because you were just talking rubbish. That's why I was not interested. Simon bought a new non-current asset. Why did he decide to use the reducing balance method to depreciate it? Because those assets which reduces their value more in early years and less in later years, we will charge depreciation under reducing balance method. They are depreciated under reducing balance method. Why? Because they are technological assets. They used to decrease their value more in early years and less in later years. How come, sir? I have purchased a machinery. For the few starting years, the machinery will not depreciate because there will be no repair. So it will depreciate more in the early years, but later years, because of repair and maintenance, the depreciation will be on the lower side. So later years में वो कम depreciate होगी, right? और repair cost बढ़ जाएगी. So the non-current asset will subject to rapid technological change. A answer is the answer. Others are wrong. Thank you very much. Any question, please? No, A is the answer.